Joining me now is the Combat Zone welterweight champ who will be making his first title defense May the 31st at Combat Zone 88 when he takes on Malang Suso. And of course, it is Richard Bilodeau on the show. Richard, how you doing, my man?
I'm good, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
Nice to talk to you. We did recap your title win, a very, very impressive one over a tough guy in Andre Carbonneau. Just tell me, man,
Thanks.
that's been a few months now. What has life been like for you since?
Just back to the drawing board, man. I can't ever just be satisfied with one win, you know what I mean? Back in just in the gym, constantly trying to make my boxing and my kickboxing better. I started doing jujitsu at Precision over in Hudson with Sean Melanson and Alex West. So really trying to sharpen every tool that I can. You know what I mean? Because obviously my base is wrestling and jujitsu, and I want that to be absolutely on point because I know this guy that I'm fighting, he's definitely going to try to take me down. I feel
Yeah,
at least so.
right. I noticed. I mean, he's still 3-1, not a whole ton of tape to dissect, but he does have two submission victories. You feel like that's where he's most dangerous.
Yeah, for sure. From what I mean, I think I've watched all of his fights. They're all on YouTube from what I've seen. And like his last fight, the way he beat that guy, he timed his entries. So the kid would come in, he'd kind of overcommit a little bit, either with a big right hand or instead of taking small steps forward, he'd kind of take one big step. And Malang would time it, single leg, transition to a double leg, rinse, repeat. That's how he won that fight.
Okay.
So
He looks to be pretty physically strong as well. Nothing that you're not used to, but how is this going to differ from the Carbonell fight? Are they similar as far as maybe like their strength and power?
I feel like this Suso miit be a little. He looks like he's a little stronger. He has big legs. I see that, but frame wise, they look the same kind of. Like Suso was like 5'9" or something, 5'8". I think Carbonneau is like around the same height. The reach looks about the same. It's just stylistically, obviously, they're way different fighters. You got one guy who just wants to brawl with you. You got another guy who's gonna try to take you down. At least from he could go out there and try to strike with me. I kind of hope he does, but we'll see.
You're obviously a little bit taller, a little bit more rangy. How difficult is it fighting those shorter, stocky guys?
I prefer it to be honest. I like keeping my range and being able to utilize my jab, anything lead, like my lead hand, my lead leg, especially those leg kicks. If I can keep my distance, I stay safe. If you have to come in on me to wrestle me, that's where I'm best as a wrestler, is working my offense works off of my defense. So that's how I view it, at least. Unless he's really good at slipping shots, obviously you have a different thing you got to deal with. But from what I've seen, his footwork is it's not like he's gonna dazzle me with his footwork. It's not what it looks like.
Okay, fair enough. We're going to circle back to this matchup with Suso again. Your first title defense. I'm stoked to see you back in there, man. As
Mhm.
far as like the growth that you've done as a mixed martial artist since we've last seen you fight, you mentioned focusing a lot on the jujitsu and some of the new guys that you're around. Is that the area you feel like you've made the most strides in since we've last seen you fight?
Honestly, it would be my boxing because I still box like 6 days a week. So I'm in there. I'm just trying to get my footwork right. I'm trying to just all my basics, all the basics, because I still have a long way to go until I am even close to mastering them. But at least if I can get to like a journeyman level of mastery, if I were to, I work in the trades. So if I were to be a journeyman, you know what I mean, as a boxer, I'll be doing all right. You know what I mean?
I do. I understand that totally. I also saw on your Instagram that you've been putting up some serious weight. Were you squatting 315? Is that what I saw?
No, those are just big weights. I think it was like 225 or something. I was doing a lot of reps. I have been lifting a lot though. Like my arms have definitely gotten much bigger. So you were saying that kid's strong. Everyone's been telling me whenever I roll with them, they're like, "Man, you're fucking strong now." So good luck to him.
Okay, yeah, well, that could be just another problem for your opponents here moving forward. How much are you focusing on the strength training, and like how important is that as you evolve and eventually turn pro?
Oh, very, man. I mean, you see some of these guys at the professional level, they're friggin' specimens. And like I'd have to be a fool to think that, oh, it's not important to lift weights and focus on strength and conditioning. Like it's obviously technique comes first, but I usually try to get like 3, 4 days a week of just some good strength and conditioning work in, you know?
And you feel like you're stronger now than you were when we last saw you fight?
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%. I wasn't really lifting that much before. And like I've been really just cracking down. Like I just I want to be stronger and faster, obviously, but just technically, like when everything blends together, I'm just excited to see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, oh, definitely, man. I think everyone here in the region is excited to see you continue to get better and better. It's a scary thought. When you look at the other guys that you train with that you're around in the MMA game, how much are they focusing on the strength training, or are they more just like in the gym with like the technique and actually training, wrestling, jujitsu? Do you see a lot of the guys starting to do more of the strength training?
I honestly don't really know. I'd like to break my training up. I guess I'm not it's a little unorthodox, I guess, compared to how a lot of people are. Like I like to do my boxing and my kickboxing with as my boxing and my kickboxing. I like to keep my grappling as my grappling. And then if when I find MMA sparring and stuff, I'll do that. But I kind of like to keep them separate because I've been doing jujitsu since I was like 13 years old. I am a black belt in jujitsu now. And wrestling, I mean, it's obviously you still have to grow the wrestling. It's not like I'm fucking like Bo Nickel at wrestling or anything like that. I mean, he got beat, but he's still a nasty wrestler, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, no,
yeah.
understood for sure. As far as the guys that you got around you this camp, like, is there anyone specific that you have that can kind of like mimic Suso that might have a similar style to him that can push you for this title fight?
Mhm. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of guys over at Precision that are very similar builds that are very solid grapplers. So I get a lot of good work in. I can't really pick anyone out in particular now.
What does a typical day, week look like for you now? Just run me through, kind of give me the condensed version of, training Monday through Friday or, even on the weekends. What is it kind of looking like for you right now?
Sure. Usually I get home from work. I don't have time to do shit. And then I go straight to box. And I mean, when it was earlier, like right after my last fight, I'd go from boxing and then I'd lift a couple of the days. Other couple of the days, I'd go to jujitsu. Weekends, I usually work on just kickboxing, Saturday mornings. And then Sundays, I'll try to make an open mat. And now Saturday nights, I make it to I do jujitsu too. So really, it's I guess that's how I break it up. I got boxing and then I got my jujitsu. I usually keep my jujitsu like 3 or 4 days a week. Boxing, I try to keep like 6 days a week to really,
The,
because that's my biggest gap. You know what I mean? Is my striking. So I focus really heavily on that.
Sure. Do you have any time to do anything else? Like you like tell me you must like watch a little TV or movies or something. Like what else do you do outside of just work and train?
Oh, I hang out with my fiance and I play video games. I don't know if you game at all, but have you heard of a Kingdom Come Deliverance too?
I have not. I'm not much of a gamer. I used to play like a lot of
Uh,
Madden and like sports has always been my thing. So like Madden and NBA games I would always play, but I haven't got into that kind of stuff. But I have friends that love it and that play it religiously. So I'm sure it's a lot of fun.
yeah, it's a sick RPG, honestly. I put like 200 hours in that shit. I'm a fucking nerd. So
So that's pretty much like all you do in your downtime. You don't watch TV. You can give me like any Netflix suggestions or
Um,
anything that you're watching.
I mean, I did like The Last of Us, like the first season. I've been watching that on HBO, but like the casting for Ellie's kind of like I mean I don't know. I'm still watching this season, but it's not fantastic. There's really not much. Actually, Tom Segura came out with a sketch show on Netflix that's pretty funny.
What's that
What's the
called?
name? Bad Thoughts.
Oh
Shit's
yeah,
actually
yeah.
hilarious. It's 6 episodes, so if you want to binge it on a weekend and just do absolutely nothing, it's the perfect time.
Okay, I'll put that on my to do list. What about have you seen the what is it called? My Friends and Neighbors. It's on Apple TV. It has John Hamm. You must know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have Apple TV though. I basically have everything else. I got like Hulu, Netflix, HBO.
Okay. Mobland. Did you watch Mobland at all?
No, what's that?
Oh man, you got to see that. That's with Tom Hardy. It's on Paramount Plus. It's basically about mobs that are fighting with one another, kind of over in the UK. It is very good. I don't want to spoil anything. It's Mobland. It's the title pretty much kind of like says what the show's about.
You know what I wanted to get into is a Boardwalk Empire. I've been wanting to watch, speaking of like mob stuff, because I watched The Sopranos. I never finished it though. I got to probably like the fifth season. You know what's great? Speaking of crime shows, you ever see The Wire?
Oh yeah, that's
Oh, that
classic.
shit.
Yeah,
One of the greatest shows of all time,
yeah,
hands down.
yeah, definitely. I could sit here and talk TV movies with you all day long. That's one of my my main passions is film and whatnot. So I always like to kind of talk to a little bit because we all like watching shows, right? When you need a little bit of downtime to get away from combat sports, you gotta have something to tune in and binge a little bit.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, my man. Well, I do want to ask you about eventually turning pro. We talked about it a little bit the last time that we did speak, and you said, you know, it's obviously something that is in the relative near future, but just tell me what your thoughts are now. Like, if you go in there and you look great and you get this title defense, is there a chance that this could be your last amateur fight? Where's your head at?
Yeah, I mean, if it goes the way that I want it to go, most likely this will be my last one because I'm 28, you know what I mean? So it's not like I'm friggin' like 19, 20 years old. If I was younger, I would take just a few more amateur fights and like travel around and stuff, but just for the sake of time, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because I feel comfortable. Like I genuinely, last time I was out there, I felt very comfortable. I I can't imagine I'm not going to feel comfortable going out there this next time. I just want all of my skill just to show the way that I want it to show. Because everyone's good in the gym, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's when you bring it out there. If you can even have like 70% of what you do in the gym when you're in the cage, you'll be straight. And that's where I want to be at least.
Have you talked to some of your teammates just about the differences of that? Because I know like some guys, like you said, they're phenomenal in the gym, but they have like stage fright. They can't like let go and just flow and be their 100% best self. Is that something that you guys discuss as fighters?
Sometimes, I mean, I've definitely had conversations with certain people where they tell me, how do you get over the nerves? Like, I think it's normal to it's not. I think it is. We're human beings, you know what I mean? It's absolutely normal to feel anxiety, especially when you're waiting. But the way I put it, whenever I talk to anyone about it, is like, look, you're waiting there. For me, it's like it's just I'm antsy. I want to just get it done. Like I'm fucking hungry. I just cut weight. This shit sucks. I have to fucking sit here from like 4:30 till like probably 10 o'clock or some shit, just sitting on a bench. And it's like, it's not the fear of getting beat up or even the fear of losing. It's just the fear of the unknown. And I like to just take that fear and just turn it on to the other person. You know what I mean? I think there's a quote about that, but it's literally if you just take that fear and you turn it outward. That's what I try to do. Just shut everything off. You know what I mean? Before you go out there, you can't be emotional. You can't be worried about shit. You can't be thinking about, oh shit, did I feed my cat? You're gonna get fucked up. Like just empty headed and just, like I said, take that fear that's inside of your soul, man. You turn it on to that person in front of you.
Man, you sound dialed into me. Again, can't wait to see you in there. What's the weight at right now? Obviously, you got to make 170. What are you today?
I was like 185, so I'm not horrible.
Is that normal for you? Or are you cutting like another 15-ish pounds when you're getting like 2 weeks out?
Yeah, typically. I mean, I kind of, not that I fucked myself, but I was lifting a lot of weights. So I put on some muscle weight and I was like, gotta start dieting soon here. So, yeah, I'm usually lower. Typically, I'll be like 180 right now, but I'm like 5 pounds heavier than usual.
Yeah, you'll
I'll
get
get
that
it
off.
off though.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an issue.
Typically, what are you eating right now? Like, what does the diet consist of?
Well, actually, I when I did my bloods like for the fight, I got my physical and like that stuff done at the same time. So it turns out I need more iron. So I've been eating plenty of red meat, broccoli, kale. If I have carbs, I'll usually have like quinoa. My fiance likes to make sourdough, so I have a nice slice
Mhm.
of sourdough every now and then.
Oh, nice. Okay. I
Greek
would
yogurt.
imagine that might be something you have to stay away from when you're getting in these last couple of weeks.
I'm strategic when I eat my carbs. Like I'll have like if it's a day like today, I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm gonna hit the bag, do some pad work, probably gonna run. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not gonna eat many carbs, but tomorrow, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll spar once it starts getting close. And on sparring days, I'll usually eat some carbs like 2 hours before and then afterwards just to refuel. You know what I mean?
Sure. All right, man. Well, May 31st can't get here soon enough. Tell me, what's the support going to look like come fight now? How many tickets have you sold? How many people do you think you're going to have there in attendance to support you?
Hopefully a lot. I know that My brother and almost brother-in-law got quite a few tickets, but I think he said he forgot to use my last name, bastard, bro. But I got a good amount of family. I got some friends that are coming, so should have a good little crowd there.
I see that beautiful belt in the background. I don't know this. I think it might be different for every promotion, but if you retain and you defend this title, do they give you another belt or do you keep that? Like, well, let's just say when you turn pro, you don't have to relinquish that. That stays with you for life, right?
That's what I would assume. Because like I honestly I don't even know the answer. But like because I've when I was younger, I have some belts from like Naga and like Grappler's Quest and shit. And like I mean obviously you keep those, but yeah, I don't know. I would assume you'd keep it because I know with like other promotions, when you win, you're technically winning another championship when you defend your belt. So they give
Right.
you another belt.
Yeah.
I would assume because if I vacated it, what if I moved to Wisconsin and they'd be like, nah, bro, give me the belt back. I would assume the belt would still be mine.
Yeah. You just be like, wait, who's this again? I don't have this
Yeah.
person plugged in. Lose my number.
Yeah. No, you gotta come back now.
Yeah, you got to keep that belt. That's too good looking to have to give that back.
It is a nice belt.
Is gorgeous. As far as just fighting for Combat Zone, this is going to be your sixth time fighting for them, man. Like how excited are you to just continue to grow that relationship with these guys? Obviously, Calvin, Jameson, these guys are top notch. You know, best in New England. Like how cool is that to just continue to strengthen your relationship with them?
I mean, it's pretty fucking awesome that I live like right here. Literally, the arena is like 10 minutes from my apartment. So it's like can't really ask for much else. I mean, obviously, once I turn pro, there's other promotions, and like if you want to be more active, you end up fighting wherever you're told to fight, basically. But right now, I mean, I know they're growing. Like my sister was saying, she got like her and my cousins and her friends got their tickets, and there was a whole section that was sold out. So Combat Zone's starting to grow in and of itself.
That is very exciting. Can you tell me, is there a walkout song that you've chosen that you can give me a little sneak peek? Let me know what you're going to be walking out to.
Yeah, you listen to J. Cole.
I do.
Yeah, you know, Hunting Wabbits.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what you,
I'm
okay.
walking out to that.
I like it. I like it. Have you
Yeah.
walked out to that before?
I haven't. I think I walked out to J. Cole last time, but that was punching the clock. That's like some hard ass shit when I walk out. Like I'm a nice guy that like goofs around and stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Whatever
Feels
gets you
good.
in the mood to go in there and play some punch face. Again, to circle back to Malang, tough guy. You know, another good test on your hands, right? Like
Uh-huh.
ultimately, do you see this fight going long? Like, do you think that he's going to be tough enough to hang in there with you and take those shots? Because we know how good of a striker you are. Like, is this getting out of the first round?
I mean, I would assume so. I'm not much of a try like you go to kill you in the first round kind of person anyway. I kind of like to see what you do and how you react. Um, I mean, if he, I think he'll carry it out a little ways because basically, I'm not going to say he doesn't. I don't know how his chin is. I watched his last fight though. He got hit with a right hand and it didn't look crazy. He got dropped. Like he still won the fight, but he got dropped by a right hand. I know I hit harder than that motherfucker. So we'll see.
So if you hit him with that same shot, you think you're putting him out?
I'm going to sit on it. I'm not going to be moving with it. I'm going to sit on that. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'd knock him out, but he's not going to like it. I can tell you that.
I know the one loss that he has is by split decision. Do you think there's something to say about his durability, right? You said he did get knocked down, but he was able to survive and obviously,
Yep.
went and got the victory. How
Oh, he's a
durable is this
gritty.
guy?
He's a gritty guy. I mean, I can tell he's gritty. He's gonna try to grind me. You know what I mean? But I'm a grinder myself, man. So we can grind it out, but I'm just gonna wait for him to make a mistake. You know what I mean? Because I've seen what he does. I've seen the mistakes that he make. I'm gonna watch his fight, probably his last fight, just that over again a couple more times before I fight him, and just really put myself in the other guy's shoes and just be like, all right, what hand is he dropping? Which leg is he leaving out? When does he take his shot? Which strike is he taking it off of? Is he taking it when I step forward? I like to be very methodical with my approach, and like my coaches are kind of the same way. You know what I mean? So yeah, hopefully I can catch him making a bad mistake, and I can go eat some steak fajitas, and it's not too late to go to margaritas.
I did see Calvin too said that he's very explosive, right? Like how explosive
Yeah.
is he compared to other guys you fought? Is he maybe the most explosive guy that you fought?
Not most likely. It seems like it. Because I mean he does time his shot well. Like if I'm sloppy and I step in being like oh yeah, let me just fucking throw a right hand at you. I know he's gonna time that shot. I mean, I'm gonna have to defend it with everything I have because that dude looks strong. You know what I mean? But it's nothing I've never dealt with, like grappling wise. I know it's mixed martial arts. It's different when you wrestle and there's punches involved and kicks and all that shit. But like I wrestled my whole life. I wrestled like only a little bit in college, but I've wrestled solid dudes. Like when I've wrestled at Smitty's barn, I've had D1 drill partners. You know what I mean? So I know what it's like to have explosive guys shoot in on you. I just need to be ready. I just can't sleep.
Do you have an official prediction? Is there one you'd like to give us?
The Connor asked me too from Combat Zone. I mean, there's no. I didn't even mean to predict it last time to be real, but this guy, I know he said he wants to take me through 5 rounds and whatever and win by a decision. So if it goes the way that I want it to go, if it's not going to go 5 rounds, I would say round three, around there, maybe four, maybe two. I don't know, one of those, two, three, or four, because I intend to just take complete advantage of how square this guy is. I know he's going to try to catch my kicks, so if I can feint low and shoot high and catch him, perfect.
Can't wait to be there cage side again, watching you fight, my man. Last question for me before we do sign off here today. This is a new audience that we're getting you in front of here for Fight Bananas. So what message do you have to anyone out there that wants to tune in, wants to watch you and see what kind of a fighter you are? What message do you have for the MMA fans out there that maybe can become new fans for you?
Yeah, make sure you use code Bilodeau when you get that pay-per-view so I can feed my cats. But no, for real, like I'm just gonna go out there, I'm gonna do my thing, and I really want to just show you guys that I don't fuck around, man. And I just want to go out there and style on people. Hopefully I can keep doing it.
Love it, man. Again, can't wait to see you back in there. Combat Zone 88, May 31st, right around the corner. Richard Bilodeau makes his first title defense against Malang Suso. Great talking to you again, brother. Before we do officially sign off, I want to give you the floor. If you have any sponsors you want to thank or just anyone in general, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, I'll thank my coaches. I don't have any sponsors right now, but I think Thrive Boxing and Julio Pena. John Paul's going to be my corner, even though I'm not at Limitless Pride. He's still a friend of mine. I've trained with him for years. He knows my style and my game like the back of his hand. So thank him for also being in my corner. And thank you to Precision Jiu Jitsu for just being an awesome place to train.